What can the Niners expect to get out of Christian McCaffrey? According to Adam Schefter today, the Niners are going to try to get McCaffrey to come back he's going to work out during the bye week. He's not going to travel. He's going to be in there working out. I think all the Niner injured players will be. Then the plan is, if everything goes well this week, Shanahan said, to get him out at practice and try to ramp him up for the Buccaneers game. And I do think, Grant, that there's a little bit of concern from the Niners, because when people were asking about, like, what do you expect, you know, the usage of McCaffrey, they started asking a little bit more particular questions. Shanahan's like, well, we'll have to see how this week goes in his ramp up and then how next week goes. Like, I almost get the feeling that they believe that in the process of ramping him up, he could have a setback that takes him out for the out of the season.
And you know why they fear that? Because it happened last time.
Yeah.
I mean, it was just, look, he got hurt in August. He sat for a month. They brought him back for Monday practice before the Sunday game, week 1. He practiced Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and then Sunday he wasn't ready to go. It happened already. And this time they gave him 2 months off, and he went to Germany and he did the PRP or whatever, and they've been extra cautious, but no one really knows. I mean, fingers crossed. That's where they're at. Fingers crossed.
Yeah, I mean, no one knows. I mean, I don't think the Niner trainer knows. Nobody really knows exactly how much his Achilles right and left are dangling. So it's just kind of a roll the dice. So they're going to put him out there. They're going to try to ramp him up, and they're going to see what happens. So there you go.
I wonder if they'd even be surprised if he'd be ready to go that soon. It seems like with Juwan Jennings, like it's almost like code. They'll say, "Is someone coming back?" And they'll be like, "Oh, we hope so," which sounds good, but really that doesn't mean yes. And that's what they said with Juwan Jennings the last couple of weeks. And you could almost interpret that as like, well, you know, is the Messiah going to come down to earth this year? Well, I hope so. That'd be great. That sounds really nice. Am I going to go to heaven one day? I hope so. But that doesn't mean that you're certain or that you're optimistic. That's a whole different thing. So when he was asked about Jennings today, is Jennings coming back next week? Do you expect that? He goes, yes, I do. So he's very definite when all signs point to yes. Save that, he usually is pretty honest, and I think that's a fair thing because you don't want to put like undue pressure on Christian if he's not ready. And it just seems aggressive to be so cautious for the last 2 months and be like, okay, he's at 4 practices, go out, go get him, buddy. It just seems aggressive.
Right. I mean, once again, my whole philosophy on it is don't bank on him, don't plan on him, and if he surprises you, great. But if you bank on him and you plan for him and he doesn't come back, I think that's the team that's a kick to the gut. So yeah. My whole thing is just see how it goes, see how it goes. I mean, I don't know what to say about it. I don't know how he'll come back, what level he'll be at when he returns, how durable he'll be, how long will the Achilles hold out before they rupture. I have no idea. And I don't think the Niners do either. But to me, it made no sense to bring him back or to even try to bring him back or ramp him up until week 10. This would be a little bit premature, but whatever. I mean, we're all basically in the same period of the year. So I don't know what to expect. I would say expect that he will try to ramp it up. And after that, there are no expectations. Today, Shanahan was asked, what's your perspective on the year and where are you guys? And he said, we're capable of achieving all of the goals that we originally set out to achieve. So skip that wordy answer and get right to, he's saying his 49ers are capable of winning it all this year, winning the Super Bowl this year. Do you agree with that? Do you agree that the Niners that you've seen in the first half are capable of winning the Super Bowl this year?
I mean, you can say yes because of what they've done in the past and the players that they have and the pedigree they have, but like based on what they've shown this year, they haven't shown that. Because to win a Super Bowl, you have to win at least 3 games in a row. They haven't won 2 games in a row this year. They haven't played a complete 60-minute game yet. So do they have the capability? Yeah, technically. I mean, we've seen it in the past. We've seen them be dominant for a quarter here, a half there, but like They have not shown the consistency that they can win a Super Bowl this year. Maybe they will get there, but they haven't shown it yet. And that's the whole story with the 2024 49ers.
Yeah, I mean, when it comes down to these rankings, I'm a points guy, right? I believe in points over yards just because you win games with points. All right, the top 5 defenses in the NFL are Chargers, Steelers, Broncos, Bears, Chiefs. And the Niners have only played one of them, Chiefs, and they looked really, really bad offensively against that team. So
and the Bears are on the schedule, and everyone thinks the Niners are going to win that game.
Right. And then the other teams in the top 10, let's see, are Bills, who are on their schedule, Eagles, Lions, who are on their schedule, Vikings, who they've lost to, Commanders, who are on their schedule, and Green Bay, who's on their schedule.
They don't face Commanders.
Oh, they don't face.
But they probably will in the playoffs. Could.
So, yeah. So, I mean, let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, Commanders. So Green Bay would be 11th. Commanders would be 10. But I mean, seriously, of the top 10 defenses, they're going to play 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and they've only played 1 so far, or 2 so far, and they've lost both. Yeah. So I would say I don't see them as a Super Bowl team. I see them as a injured, star-laden team who had a nice rookie class and will probably play better in the second half of the year. But it's going to take something major. Either Christian's going to have to come back and be Christian, or Greenlaw's going to have to come back and be even better than he was before because he's fresh. And, they're going to need Hafanga's going to have to come back and play. Some of these rookies are going to have to emerge. I mean, several things are going to have to happen for me to say they're capable of winning it all. How could I say that when Kansas City just came here and didn't play well and beat them in their own backyard? So no, I would say
think
they're
one
not
thing that might be going on is like since they traded for Christian McCaffrey, most of these regular season games were pretty easy for the 49ers. They'd win big. They'd be up in the third quarter. There were a lot of blowouts. They didn't have to make a lot of in-game adjustments. They didn't have to come from behind and lead game-winning drives. They just beat teams easily. And now they don't do that anymore. And I feel like they're kind of waiting for Christian to come back so they could go back to the way they used to win in the past. And I don't know what's going to happen this year. And I think this team needs to understand they got to find new ways to win, and that the old Christian isn't coming back. Even if he does come back, he's going to be, well, I can't say what he's going to be, but they have to be prepared for him not to be the bell cow when he comes back, because that might be an irresponsible way to use him at this point.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know that that's even I don't even know if that's a fair ask to say, hey, man, you be the guy. You carry us. I don't know if that's a fair ask.